Maybe God hates me. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done to you recently, Deus? We have a new pope from Chicago. Chicago Pope. Chicago Pope, what did I do to you? Somehow I've wronged Chicago Pope. And what I thought was some sort of, totally normal thing that had been happening with the game feed up until this point was, in fact, the Xbox deciding, no, fuck you, I'm gonna die. So instead, we're gonna dive in, having restarted the Xbox, restarted the game, and hopefully diving in once again. Hey everybody, it's actually 7:30, so let's dive in because we're back. It's Thursday. It's 7:30. I'm Bruno Falcon.
A hidden blade during fight will allow you to quickly dispatch an enemy thrown to the ground.
I'm Bruno Falcon. I'm your host. I'm here remembering quickly how to play this game and not the other games that I've been playing recently. And we are once again back in the Assassin's Guild in Damascus. We're playing Assassin's Creed 1 and trying...
Altair, welcome! I've done what you asked. Now give me the marker.
First things first. Tell me what you know.
Tamir rules over the Souk El Salah. He makes his fortune selling arms and armor and is supported by many in this endeavor. Blacksmiths, traders, financiers. He's the largest death dealer in the land.
And so this is where we're going to start. We're going to kill Tamir.
And have you devised a way to rid us of this blight?
A meeting is being arranged at Souk El Salah to discuss an important sale. They say it's the largest deal Tamir has ever made. He'll be distracted with his work. That's when I'll strike.
Your plan seems solid enough. I give you leave to go.
And we have earned our first feather.
And Mualim's will be done. You may rest here until you are ready.
So that was a minor fuck up on my part. I did not mean to dive in. I meant to go and do a little bit more of the cleanup around the investigation block. I'm trying to remember if I can go back and do more of the memory log. I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, so we can, I can, if we want to, at some point I might go back and do these things. We'll see. I think what I might actually do really quickly is, anyway, but I, more importantly, didn't mean to, do all that while I was talking through, getting us caught up on last session and talking through the whole project. So we're here playing through the Assassin's Creed games, starting from the beginning with Assassin's Creed 1 and diving all the way through. We'll see how far we go, but the goal here is to talk not just about me playing Assassin's Creed or my history with the games, but also to talk about the games themselves and the histories inside of them. And again, not just the history of the, right here we're playing inside of the Third Crusade, not just the history that Desmond is living in the near future, but also how those two things are interesting mirrors to the time in which the game is coming out and the dev history and all of the other things that are going on. So last time we had a very fun and tech bug filled opening to this particular experiment, but thankfully we're, other than the Xbox crashing right before the 7:30 mark, we're, knock wood, going pretty smooth so far. Today we're diving into what I'm planning on being the first 3 assassinations. And we're starting with Tamir. So Tamir is the weapons dealer. And, again, it's interesting. We are starting in with a character that is very much in the Western imaginary as the playing both sides kind of villain of the Crusades. He's selling to everybody. He's the bad guy for the assassins, but he's also kind of he's meant to be inherently slimy. He's set up as being this kind of unlikable character for everybody, and as we'll see as we eventually get over to figure out how to do the assassination, I'm assuming I can make it across all of these rooftops without falling, or walking through the streets without getting arrested. Tamir is set up as this fictional representation of the, Arab arms merchant. One of the things I found as I was poking around in some of my research is that there was a sort of non-canon mobile game that they made, built around Assassin's Creed, that is that presents him as someone who is somewhat they set him up as someone who is somewhat thank you for the flag. That should be better in terms of the audio stuff. And let me see if I can figure out what the frame rate issues are. Not sure what's causing that on that end, but one second. So in the so there's a there is a particular how do I go into eagle vision in this game? It's Y. Hold down Y. Hold down Y. Wait. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Because I have to go to the spot. Where is the dude? So in the mobile game, there is a one of the things that they set up is in addition to him being sort of this representation of a weapons merchant at the time, there's also I think what I would interpret as a somewhat, well, here he is.
This is the excuse of a lazy or incompetent man. Which are you?
Neither.
What I see says otherwise. Now, tell me, what do you intend to do to solve this problem of ours? These weapons are needed now.
I see no solution. The men work day and night, but your client requires so much, and the destination. It is a difficult route.
Were it that you could produce weapons with the same skill as you produce excuses.
I have done all I can.
It is not enough.
Then perhaps you ask too much.
Too much? I gave you everything. Without me, you would still be charming serpents for coin. All I asked in return was you fill the orders I bring you, and you say I asked too much? You dare disrespect me?
Peace, Tamir. I meant no insult.
Then you should have kept your mouth shut!
No! Stop!
Stop? I'm just getting started.
No! Stop! No!
You came into my souk, stood before my men, and dared to insult me? Your face! No. Leave the body. Let this be a lesson to the rest of you. Think twice before you tell me something cannot be done. Now get back to work.
Okay, so that is our target. Tamir, he is set up as this weapons merchant. I mean, there are a few things about him that I find kind of interesting.
Where did you learn your craft?
But I think the big thing is that he's a purely fictional character, and he's set up as sort of like the pompous, bombastic, real bad Arab. Everything wrong with being a,
Melt it down and try again.
you know, a vicious and evil weapons merchant, and won't. Now I have to remember how to do. See, this is the problem. I cannot remember how to do a hidden blade attack. There we go.
Be at peace.
You'll pay for this. You and all your kind.
It seems you're the one pays now, my friend. You'll not profit from suffering any longer.
You think me some petty death dealer, suckling at the breast of war? A strange target, don't you think? Why me, when so many others do the same?
You believe yourself different, then?
Oh, but I am. For I serve a far nobler cause than mere profit. Just like my brothers.
Brothers?
But he thinks I act alone. I am but a piece. A man with a part to play. You'll come to know the others soon enough. They won't take kindly to what you've done.
Good. I look forward to ending their lives as well.
Such pride. It will destroy you, child.
So the other thing that I found really interesting that they set up here, oh god, yeah, right, and now there's the running away from people and not dying part of this game. The other thing that I think is really interesting in what they set up with Tamir is this sort of justifiable greed narrative that I think is a big part of a lot of Templar characters that then also becomes something I think really important later on, especially as we get into a lot of the contemporary spaces in specifically when you talk about like Varric and Abstergo, when we're talking about sort of this concept of the modern capitalist narrative, the modern biotech narrative that you come to see in Desmond's story, and then later on in other Assassin's Creed, you know, in Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, and then future stuff where we're talking about sort of the might makes right and the greed is good narratives that become so commonplace in how we think about you know, or at least how I think about the modern Templar story for Assassin's Creed today. So that's our first actual assassination kill. Look, we got there inside of the first 15 minutes. We are on awesome pace to get at least a couple more in tonight and keep talking about the game. Especially because the next one I think we're going to come up on is the first actual historic character, although we don't know too much about him in point of fact. He's got like a tiny little Wikipedia article and is oh right, crap, I can't just pop out. Shit. God, I've completely forgotten how this game works. Isn't it fun watching someone be bad at something they used to be good at? I swear, I used to actually be good at this game. In the same way that I used to be good at like putting things on the internet and having them look good for people who were watching it. I kid. The bitrate's not my fault. I blame Verizon. Unless Verizon wants to sponsor my stream, in which case up my upload speed to 2 gig, and I'm sure things will look better. But ooh. I'm also going to make sure that I stay up to snuff. I'm not going to play any more modern games for a while, like outside of streaming. I'm just going to focus on like, I'm going to pick up just old Obsidian games moving forward. Oh, right, I have to be anonymous before I can go in there. That's so dumb. Oh. Nope. Okay. If I were over there. Okay. Get over there. Yes. Nope. Shit. Fucking shit. Balls. Nope. Break sightline. Okay. Get in. No. Fuck you. Oh. This is going really, really incredibly badly. It would be truly tragic if I managed to get the first kill in 15 minutes and then spent a subsequent 30 trying to run away from the guards. But I have a feeling something makes me... Good Lord. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm watching the stream playback and that is grungy. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see what I can do to clean that up. Alright, okay. I'm gonna make it up. I'm gonna make it across. I'm not gonna fall. Yes. Okay, and we're back. And we're in. And we're down. Everything is totally okay. We did it.
Word has reached me of your victory, Altair. You have my gratitude and my respect.
Thank you.
It is a shame that other assassins continue to hold you in such poor regard.
Okay.
Rafiq, I do not care what the others think of me.
As you wish, Altair. You should bring news of your victory to Al-Malim. I'm certain he has more work for you to do.
Fast forwarding memory.
Okay.
To a more recent one.
We did it. We made it. We're through. Okay. Breathing and catching our breath. We did the thing. We made it through. The feed is still real glitchy and bad. I'm so confused. I wonder why that's the case.
Out of the machine, Mr. Miles.
What's the matter, Doc?
Miss Stillman is once again insisting I let you rest.
But here we are. Okay. Hopefully that makes that a little bit better.
So, feel like telling me who put the stick up his ass?
We have a deadline. 1 week. Well, 6 days now.
Deadline?
I can't talk about it.
Man, put yourself in my shoes. I'm being held hostage by a group of scientists, at least I think you're scientists, and forced to spend all day in some crazy-ass machine. You won't tell me what you're looking for or why you want it, but I'm supposed to be thanking you for keeping me alive. This is so fucked. Sorry, but it is.
What do you want me to do?
Let's see, I don't know. Maybe give me some answers?
I can't. And it's better this way. Safer.
Safer for who?
Both of us.
The weird blinky pencil is throwing me. Like, truly, I find the weird blinky pencil truly bizarre.
You know what? I've got a question I think you can actually answer.
What's up?
Why is it that sometimes the guys in there talk like they're from the future?
The future?
I mean the present. Now, today, whatever.
You've probably noticed that English has become the official language of the Holy Land.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The Animus is translating speech it deems vital into more modern English, so expect a few anachronisms. I could probably make it more authentic, but... You ever read Chaucer?
Who?
Yeah, definitely not for you.
So, let's see. We're back up in the big ivory tower. I hope this is looking a little bit better for folks. And the next assassination is one that I'm pretty excited about because it does have a little bit more parallels with what Desmond is going through. It's about, it's got a little bit more like mental health and experimentation stuff alongside it. And I want to do one more interaction here before we go take a nap.
Tell me more about Abstergo? What goes on here? Beyond the whole keeping me prisoner thing.
Abstergo is one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. Their primary focus is antidepressants. There's some information on the computer over there.
But you already said this isn't about testing a drug. So what's the deal?
I don't like where this is going.
So it's safe to assume the Animus is not a part of their public face.
What, you haven't seen the commercials?
Oh my god. She has a sense of humor.
I'm sorry, Desmond. I've got a lot of work to do. Like I said, if you want to know more about the company, take a look at the computer. The telecommunications stuff is particularly interesting.
Hooray, and now we have computer access. Okie dokie, let's go look at the computer. Okay. Boop-doo. Alright. Do mentions of Leela. Fun thing about fun little confidentiality thing. This is a great precursor to a lot of what folks deal with nowadays in confidentiality and non-competes, which, you know, we all understand a lot about that in tech. Again, a great example of like how the near future space is really pointing at a lot of the writing on the wall in tech, a lot of what folks were anticipating coming down the line in tech spaces, in biotech spaces especially, but in what would become technology spaces in the years to come. And then, yes, the pen, the access key pen, which is just a fun little thing for us to keep an eye out for in the future. Quickly see if I can actually go and check in on what's going on that's the wrong direction. No, still can't get to this computer just yet. Okay, let's go take a nap. Right, and this game is fun because you have to walk incredibly slow when you're Desmond, even though he's just there with an incredible ass wiggle in really solid jeans.
Man, I can't even change my clothes.
Right, fun little interactions with the environment. Very much of the time in the, like, lots of little sort of... It makes me almost think of, like, Myst in the, like, it's kind of finicky what you can interact with and can't interact with, and, like, making sure... I'm realizing now I probably should have made sure to go into the bathroom, but I forgot to double check to do that. I don't think we're going to miss anything because I missed that this time around.
Time's wasting.
But here we are. We venture forth. Oh, no. Right. Right. Because one of the things that's nice about the game is that it won't let you go to sleep unless if there's something critical that you can miss when you're awake, it won't let you go to sleep, which is...
Where's Lucy?
Oh, don't worry. She'll be with us soon enough.
So why are you doing all this, Doc? What are you hoping to accomplish?
You
Beneficial.
turned the television on lately? Read the newspaper?
Never cared much for that stuff.
Then, let me sum it up for you. The world's a mess. It's pathetic, really. You've seen it firsthand yourself. 1,000 years between you and your ancestor, and society remains just as barbaric, just as stupid.
And your point is...
Order, Mr. Miles. The world needs order. That is what we're working towards, and that is what you're helping us to achieve.
You expect me to believe you're building a better tomorrow?
That's exactly what we're doing. The human race calls out for direction. They want to know why they're here, what they're meant to do. Well, we're going to tell them. And once they understand how to live their lives, everything will be better.
Better how?
An end to all conflicts, large and small. Isn't that what you assassins strive for? Peace in all things?
I told you, I'm not an assassin.
Right.
I still don't see where I fit into things.
In time, Mr. Miles. In time, you'll understand. Or you won't. I don't care either way, as long as you show us where it is.
Where what is?
Sorry I'm late. Ready to go?
Yes, we are.
So interesting, little drops there in Varric's dialogue, specifically the use of the term, barbaric. I think it's one of those terms that got thrown around a lot, especially when we're thinking about conflicts. Especially when we're thinking about conflicts that America initiated around the globe. But it becomes something that becomes a Templar catch-all word for
You should blend immediately. Even the slightest
justification, justifying why it is that we subjugate
You've done
people.
well, Altair, and I'm confident that this is but the first of many successes.
Tamir spoke as if he knew you well. He implied my work had a larger meaning.
Significance comes not from a single act, but the context within which it is performed. The consequences born of it.
Then is there more I need to know?
Altair, your greatest failure was born of knowing too much. If I choose to withhold information, it is only to ensure you do not make the same mistake a second time.
I see.
No, you don't. And it will remain this way until you've learned your lesson. Still, you have performed competently, and as such I restore a rank and will return a piece of your equipment. Go now, either to Akka or Jerusalem. There are men in both cities who require your attention. The Bureau leaders can tell you more about what needs to be done.
I'd forgotten how much talking there is in this game as well, which is far more than I recalled. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more time for me to just chat and talk about things over stuff.
Altair, it seems my students do not fully understand what it is to wield the blade. Perhaps you could show them what you know. Perfect. The work of a master. And that, my students, is how we all should fight.
We've unlocked the parry window. Okay. Diving back in.
You must be busy. I understand.
Okay, heading on to... I think we're going to go to Akka first. Because I'm pretty sure that's where the mental hospital is. And I'm pretty sure that's where I wanted to go first. Assuming I remember how to pull up a map. These are all big assumptions. Because I don't know about y'all, but what a week. I'm still kind of obsessed with the Chicago Pope, which I feel like we're allowed to talk about because it's kind of like Templar adjacent. But really, I'm kind of just very excited about getting to Pope Talk in the next series of games. Because as much as I love Assassin's Creed, the first one, Assassin's Creed 2 is really where I fell in love with the games. But for now, we will get on a horse, and we will drink a Malort at the Last Supper. One day I'll have to do a bonus stream on like a Friday or Saturday, and we'll pick a game that isn't this, and I'll do a shot of Malort every time I absolutely mess something up, and the stream will only last about 30 minutes, and then y'all can laugh at me and I can go to sleep. You don't want me to die of Malort poisoning, I understand. I'll get some guests on. Well, you know what? So what we'll do is I will find some fun. I'll get a bunch of people on. I'll get some friends on, and we'll play some Jackbox games. We'll do some like Murder Mystery House or something like that. And we'll do little baby Malort shots for people who lose. Okay, which of these buttons makes the map? There we go. Okay, so we mark the viewpoints and the viewpoints. Oh right, I can do multiple markers in this game. Can I go to this one first? That one first. Unfortunately, I have less to talk about today because one of the things that I found a little bit frustrating around... So the Third Crusade is really interesting, but while this game is based around the Third Crusade, it's not very interested in the actual history of the Third Crusade. It doesn't really care, which makes sense. I mean, like, part of the point of making a game like this is that you don't really want to have to worry about the actual history of the Third Crusade. You don't really want to have to worry about the ins and outs of the European leadership coming back to try and reclaim the Holy Land again. But oh god damn it. No, fuck. Come on, guys, be cool for a minute. Like a minute. No. I'm not allowed, no talking about fun things. I have to run away. I have to run away from them and scare some people. I have to be bad at this game for a minute. Oh, right, and I can't climb everything in this game. Oh, no. I'm cursed by modern gaming. I have forgotten the limitations of classical gameplay. I've also abandoned my horse, and I cannot recall my horse. I have made some terrible choices. Mistakes have been made, but there's a horse. I can steal that horse. I can grab this opportunistic flag because I'm not going to try and get all of them, but I am going to try and get some of them. And I also... Oh, the horse follows you? Oh, that's handy. And, oh, God. So recently I've been helping with a local education nonprofit. This is a total non sequitur, but I swear it loops back around to how badly I'm doing at this game at the moment. And one of the things that's been very entertaining is watching contemporary high schoolers discover N64s and be like, why are these games so slow and small and clunky? And I feel like I just had sort of the opposite reaction, where the experience where I feel like I'm playing this game in a way that makes me feel like much more of an old than I think of myself as being. Like, I don't think of myself, I don't think of myself as being an elder millennial. I'm not really an elder millennial. But I feel like, you know, I'm making all the classic mistakes that I feel like I'm making all the classic mistakes that I made the first time I picked up the controller to play Assassin's Creed for the first time, which is fun. Oh, the N64 controllers, what's fun is that when the kids look at them and are like, I don't understand how you hold this, you just tell them about how there used to be aliens in the same way that red-eyed flash pictures you can explain away with the demon uprisings of the 1980s, which is very entertaining. But all lurking is totally accepted and appreciated. So one of the things that I was thinking about as well in the in sort of doing a little bit more research around sort of these early assassinations in this game, and the early, like, the archetypes that they're building into like your target list here, because that is the other thing that's kind of interesting, is they're building these archetypes into these sort of past villains. They're creating, part of what's interesting is that they're creating, while they're creating a bit more nuance in their portrayal of, you know, Altair is an interesting and somewhat nuanced character, is an interesting and nuanced character, being set up at an interesting time in game history. They're placing him in a backdrop of, you know, very archetypically evil characters inside of the Templar. But part of the way they get away with that is by they're archetypically evil characters with somewhat, you know, they're all kind of justifiable. Like, they're very much in the same way that we were having conversations about the ways in which the ends justify the means in modern conflict and in modern conflicts, in modern warfare, and modern history. You know, I mean, even today, our first target was an arms dealer. You know, we're talking about Tamir. Our first target's an arms dealer. It's, you know, if you look in it's really hard to talk about international politics right now and not talk about American sales of arms to Israel and to Israel or to Ukraine, and talk about the ways in which they are and are not compromised. Like one is when one is justified and the other isn't, and that's a fascinating place to be in a game that is also talking about what is morally justified in the pursuit of order, while historically looking at the context of Iraq and Afghanistan and the end of the Bush era. And then in this past history, looking at the context of, the broader conflicts of the Crusades, which are, bloody and violent and incredibly complex. So we start with this arms dealer character, who is initially, as we saw in the monologue that you get coming out of the assassination, is our understanding from that scene and from what we hear him say is that he's, greedy, and that is his primary motivation. But what we come to understand from the perspective of the Templar Order is that is, with a lens to a greater social order. And part of what makes that compelling, and I think what keeps it interesting, we're 12 full-size AAA games into this franchise. That, don't quote me on 12. That might be wrong. I'd have to do that math, and I can't do that math while I'm trying to find this viewpoint. But part of what makes that compelling is that I think that that's part of what makes the various perspectives interesting, is that there's appeal to that argument. This idea, people make bad decisions, groups of people make complicated decisions and compromised decisions, and that there is an appeal to the Templar narrative of a few people who have access to resources, who have access to education, who have access to all these tools, leveraging those resources for the sake of a greater good, at a certain acceptable cost, for the sake of a greater humanity, that's inherently compromised. That's appealing to a lot of people, in the same way that I think the Assassins, it's not, is it better? It's in the pursuit of liberty. It's built on this ideal of a type of freedom, but you're also coming, the perspective of this game, the point of this game is, I'm gonna actively kill people. That is the fundamental goal. I am Altair. The purpose of this goal, the game mechanically, is to build back into being a killing machine. The sort of positive outcome of this game is that Desmond accepts that he is, in fact, a part of this secret society, and that he is a part of the secret society whose express intention is assassination and murder, and that's the good outcome. And so it is inherently compromised, and I think that's part of the reason why it remains interesting and compelling all the way through. I also think that it would be really cool to do a I think it'd be really cool to do a Nightwing? When Robin leaves Batman? I think it's Nightwing. Oh, I feel I'm losing many levels of nerd cred. Nightwing, yeah. So I think an Assassin's Creed style Nightwing stealth game would be a lot of fun. Sort of in the vein of the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City games, but something that's basically less beat 'em up, where you're much more, where you're where it's much more you have to be sort of stealthy gadgety. I think about my favorite Mass Effect build, where it's the tech sniper, and where it's what if Nightwing was like a tech, like basically a tech assassin build. I think that would be fun. I also think it was a really missed opportunity. I mean, and part of it is because of the way the industry works, that they didn't do, and maybe they did, and I'm just plugged out of comics, but that they didn't do a Nightwing breaks with Batman over Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter inside of New York subplot. I think it would be a really interesting thing to do, and there's still time. I mean, like, especially with what's happening in journalism, there are some really fun potential plot lines there that I think you could play with that could actually be like really interesting and meaningful if comic books are still interested in activism the way I hope they are. I love the Arkham games. I could see in 4 years from now, when this experiment is done, I could see myself going back and doing those just in the same in the vein of what I was just saying, in the like how do you play a Batman game? How do you play a Batman game while thinking about the fact that Batman is inherently pro-cop and pro-incarceration? Which is just kind of a weird thing to think about sometimes. Oh, shush. Okay, fine. No, stop it. Don't run into trees. Go, horse, go. Go, horse, go. I wish horses actually... Well, I guess horses... In reality, horses will do that. You can train horses to go faster if you say go horse, go. But you have to start doing it very early on. Paul, don't correct me if you're here. I don't want to know about your horse and how it's inferior because I can't tell it go horse, go. Or horses. I don't know how many horses you have now. 3, 4, maybe 5. I feel like journalist superhero is one of those things that, like, Clark Kent will always be the one that people go to, and he's like the worst example of a version of the thing. I know that there's one inside of the Batman universe, but the name escapes me. But then I also feel like I desperately want people to do things that are not superhero. For the life of me, I desperately want non-superhero content. Where are you? Why?
Not here. Let's look elsewhere. He probably ran to some other part of the city.
What the fuck? No, you just stopped looking for me. What the fuck? No, leave me alone. Also, why did they even bother doing a chase cam? That was so pointless. Okay, cool. We're going to Aker. Anyway, Aker.
Use the scholars you have rescued to pass unnoticed into guarded areas.
I appreciate that. I have a feeling that, well, I do a scrub through every... I had there was a lot of a weekend last weekend, but I do a handy dandy transcription of each. I do a quick transcription. There is a clip button. Oh, wait, you can clip. You clip. Not me clip, you clip. Yeah, sure. Clip to your heart's content. Okay. What was I doing? Where did I put my water? That's That's what I'm... Okay. This is a moment for all of us to remember that hydration is key. It's really important for effective brain function. Part of what's happening right now is that I'm a little dehydrated, and therefore my brain isn't working right. Also, it's a day. It ends in Y. ADHD. Things, stuff.
This is actually quite amusing.
Where's the citizen?
I've done nothing wrong. Why are you doing it? Your life ends now.
So why did they make it so easy to stab the citizen? I don't want to stab the citizen. I want to stab these guys. Yeah, there we go. Honestly, that's my favorite move in Assassin's Creed is the totally impractical swinging around and clothesline somebody and then stab down with the point of your sword, which is like really impractical because it'll definitely like break the tip of your sword. Just don't do that. It's bad. Stabby, swing. Ah. Okay, nope. That. Take that. I am also working on... The soundboard is on my list. Roland Zahay is definitely up there on the list of things that I want to make sure is on there, but I know that Stream Until I Die and a couple of others are already set up, so...
Thank you, my boy. I only wish my sons were half as brave as you. I'll see to it that they hear this tale and know what it is to be a true hero.
Also, I can't tell... He just said sons.
Where's the one responsible for this?
I'm assuming he means his priests. But that still kind of weirds me out. But I guess that's also... I mean, I don't know. I'm a bad lapsed Catholic, even for a lapsed Catholic, so... I'm not even a lapsed Catholic. I'm the son of a lapsed Catholic. I don't know. Someday, I might attempt to make a hidden blade, but I feel like the likelihood that I will stab through my hand in a way that makes the use of my hand impossible while trying to make it work is just a little bit too likely for anyone's comfort. Sorry, that was one of those intrusive thoughts that I probably should have kept on the inside, but then I said it out loud into a microphone. Anyway, I'm gonna go climb this viewpoint so we can go find this guy I'm supposed to kill. Moving on. Sorry. Wow. Okay, that was a little unhinged. But here we go. Look at that. You can climb this wall. Look, Altair is occasionally clumsy, and we run into everyone. At least they weren't carrying jugs this time. That was bad. That was really bad. If you want to see that on the... If you missed it last week, there's a great clip of me 100% just running through a whole bunch of people carrying jugs. It was great. Okay, but now we're going to go eavesdrop. And... hope for the best. Doop doop doo. The problem is impatience. Okay, we're gonna sit. And now we're gonna eat. Wait. But no. Wait. Is this the wrong bench? It's the wrong bench. Okay. So... Okay. Don't give me the eyes, Jesus. Okay, sitting on this bench. Can I eavesdrop from here? Ah, I forgot to press the Y button.
About a lens?
The archer who guards the eastern wing?
Poor bastard's brother caught an arrow in the throat. Doubt he'll last the night.
How can he continue to work, knowing what's to come?
He visits his brother often, so I cover for him when I can.
You aren't there now.
No. I've family business of my own to attend to.
Then he'd best hope the doctor doesn't learn of his desertion.
He won't. Long as you stay silent.
Don't worry. Your secret's safe with me.
Alrighty. So, now we are here. We are here in, as we have said, the City of Grayness. And we are going to learn some things about this evil doctor. Not going to run into the ladies with the jars, because that would be rude. Gonna go and get this viewpoint. I like this doctor. This doctor is of the three, of our three initial... I did break those jars, oops. You know... See, I feel like I shouldn't have fallen off that one, but here we are. So, of our three initial targets, this is the only one that's based on a real person.
You've no reason to be here.
Well,
Leave now.
that's not true. I'm gonna climb this.
Leave this place. This place is restricted.
I love how the guards have like no object permanence. Like the second you're out of their line of sight, they just forget you exist. So this particular target is the only one who is based on a real person. Our Garnier de Nablus is, and who was the leader of the Knights Hospitalier. I don't speak French. My wife loves to mock me because my attempts at speaking anything remotely close to French or French sounding are laughable and sad. But there isn't too like, again, historically we don't know much about him. He just sort of but you know, he was a lord and he was in the Crusades, and in this game he plays an evil doctor doing terrible experiments on people that are used to justify and expand the use of the epilepidem. But I find him interesting because I think a lot of his justification becomes really compelling parallel to Desmond.
Fortune favors me today. God only knows what foul deeds those men intended to commit. Good of you to arrive when you did, stranger. I'll see to it that my husband hears of your bravery.
To Dr. Varric's justification for like what he's doing with Desmond, and what Abstergo is doing in general. Also, for some reason, that was a very interesting. The animation on that woman's face was just like way more detailed than anybody else's. And French is no more made up than English. English is like 3 languages in a trench coat. All of them are in like on different drugs. It's, you know, we can't really give French a hard time. I mean, we can and we should, but we can't because it's kind of bad. Like English makes no sense as a language. But I appreciate the chat, like the help. I like, you know, I'm just shooting myself in the foot here, because not only am I like giving myself I'm taking away an out around French, but I'm also like then negging the language that everyone in this stream I am assuming speaks. Otherwise, you're listening to me just make gibberish noises along with the sounds this game is making. So.
Listen to their lies. Poisonous words meant to sow the seeds of confusion. If you find yourself tempted, go and pray. Ask God for direction.
I didn't realize that we upped the sync bar again. That's fun. Although I did commit to not trying to... Right. For this one, for Assassin's Creed 1, we are just going to get through the plot. We're not going to try and, like, do too much special. We're not, like, we'll get through the missions, but they start to get repetitive.
Ah, Altair. A little bird told me you'd be paying a visit.
Al-Muallim has ordered the execution of Garnier de Naplouse, and so here I am. What can you tell me about him?
He is the Grand Master of the Knights Hospitaller, and surely keeps his quarters in their district.
That's how I said that.
Beyond that, I cannot say. I suggest you search the city. See what you can learn from the people.
Tell me where they gather and I'll see what I can find.
The public gardens north of here, or what's left of them, are as good a place as any to begin. There's an abandoned market northwest as well that merits watching. And Maria of Jehoshaphat's church to the west remains a popular meeting place. These 3 locations should be sufficient for your needs.
I appreciate the information, Rafiq. It will be put to good use.
See that it is.
Cool. Okie dokie. Once more, we are on the hunt. But yeah, this is, I know that somebody said this last time, but we are 100% in the period of games where it is like color is the enemy. Everything is like, we must have muted monotones. It's all got to be bad and gray. If your saturation breaks 10%, then you're doing something incredibly wrong. And I feel like that's, I feel like that ends up being part of the reason why, this game is trying to do a lot, in a way that I respect. Like mechanically, there's a lot of climbing and a lot of moving around that it's trying to do, but I also feel like the lack of color contrast does sometimes make it a lot easier to, and I know this is me also just justifying things because that's what I'm doing. It makes it a whole lot easier to run into things. It makes it a whole lot easier to like just lose line of sight on stuff.
The ropes are eaten through with rot and must be replaced. If we wait any longer, we risk an accident.
I understand, but what of the houses I'm supposed to repair?
Never mind the citizens. What do they do anyway but cry and complain? It's the knights who sacrifice that the rest of us might live in peace.
But they've nowhere to go, and the rains will come soon.
I won't warn you again, boy. Do as you're told or you'll find yourself in irons.
Yes, sire.
First sensible words out of your mouth. You've got the plans now. Get to work.
I'm also entertained by the guy that's yelling is in like the way more disheveled clothes. I also forgot that in this game you can just like, if you just look like you're praying, people will just forget that you're there. It's just like, oh no, I'm praying. Don't worry. Look, I pray, prayer hands. Ignore me, prayer hands.
Value your life.
Prayer hands. Nobody notices me. Yoink. Also, why is it always beeping? It's beeping, it is always.
Who's done this? Tell me.
Okay.
A few coins, all I ask for is but a few coins.
Gonna climb up this arch.
You are not allowed to be here.
Well,
Leave.
that's funny. Because I am... no! Ugh. Okay.
Stand firm.
Right. Again, I keep forgetting the threshold for falling in this game is super narrow.
Stop. You must not trespass here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to access the memory. I'm trying to access the top of this tower, game. Sorry. I know the game can't hear me, no matter how much I like to yell at the game. I'm terrified of the moment where you can yell at the game, because then the game is going to be able to yell back at you. And I feel like that's going to be bad for everyone involved. If I really wanted to be able to yell at a game and then be yelled at by a game, I would play Fortnite. Like, I feel like teens and tweens, you know, if I really want to get negged on, that's you know, the place to go. I have discovered though that I have a terrible there is a terrible compulsion in me. God. Right. You have to be very, very careful in this game not to move the stick a little bit too far to one side or the other. Because if you do, all of the sudden, you will be launched. You will throw yourself too far, one way or the other, and then it is bad. I have a terrible compulsion in games like this. And this is not unique to Assassin's Creed, but I think Assassin's Creed is, you know, there's a unique capacity for the itch to be scratched to unfog the map. I want to unfog the map entire.
Altair, remember me? No? I learned my craft at the same time as you. Still no memories of me. Doesn't
Fair enough.
Al-Mualim
Wash
has
the dishes.
charged me with a mission that I am honored to perform. I must test you. What a pleasure. I have hidden flags in this area.
Oh no.
Find them and return to me. Be quick. It is such a shame that the old man insisted that I must help you if you succeed.
Well, now you get to watch me fail at flags. Come on. Going way too slow because I don't remember the route. And yeah, there's no way I'm going to get all 20s this time around. Go on. Huh? Nope. Ah, fuck. Yep. Okay. And I can't. Right. And I can't start this over. Okie dokie. I hate what's happening now. This is the worst. Right. These memories suck. That's why you don't do most of them. Okay, I think. Oh wait. Well, okay. I got 9 of the 20 flags. And there's that one. Okay, maybe I will get all of them. No, come on, back up. And across. Maybe. Go on. Okay. Nope. Dude, like, come on. You gotta just like a little bit of like, just a little, like there's free running in this game. Like, a little bit behave that way. Wait, where's...
I beg of
Where's the last one? Oh. Oh. Okay, that was much easier than I thought.
I'm impressed. Not enough to change my mind about you, but since Al-Mualim commands, here is what I know about your next
Graceless, but...
Garnier hides in the Hospitalia Fortress. Getting into the fortress will require cunning. That's all I have for you.
Oh, well, that's, you know, getting to the fortress will require cunning. He's in the hut, you know. That was very helpful. It does convey the extent to which Altair is just kind of a jerk early on. He does kind of suck. No climbing. You're not going to go up the hill a little bit. No. Okay. What about this one? Yeah. Okay. Okay. You know, maybe I just like climbing buildings. It's kind of a big jump to assume that I'm an assassin. You're not wrong, but that doesn't make it okay. I did really want to, when I was younger, get into falconry, and these games and the constant presence of hawks always reminds me that I really wouldn't mind, you know, pursuing that someday. You know, with the infinite money and time that I obviously have as someone who's on here. Remembering that if you don't already know, we have a Patreon and Instagram and TikTok. Dude, yeah. Sign up for the Patreon if you subscribe at the $150 a month level. I will adopt a falcon and figure out how to hide it from my wife. This is a non-binding commitment because I think that, you know, there aren't a lot of things where I think it would put my marriage at risk, but I think that if I showed up with an actual falcon, she might consider it. I think I could talk my way out of it, but I think she might consider moving in with somebody else. Her parents aren't that far. And falcons are cool, but I don't think that it would get along with our dogs and the cat. Good gravy. Rather unforgiving. I forgot how unforgiving the health is. Oh, excuse me. I am sorry. My energy at level is a little bit low. If my energy level is a little bit low today, but we're trucking along. We are trucking along. We're making good progress. Dead birds. No, live birds, dead people, running into a wall. Now I'm just narrating what I'm doing as I try to do multiple things at once. And realize that there's a cap on that, so I can't go up there. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. We're gonna get there. Oh no. I fell down. Okay. Sorry. I'm just feeling punchy and word vomity. And I wish I had more to say about this particular round of content. Other than that, I just threw myself off a building. Oh, God. Oh, no.
It's forbidden for you to be here.
So...
Leave, peasant, or I make you.
Wait. Okay, what was I going to say? So in these first three, we had the weapons dealer. We're in the process of hunting and taking on the Mad Doctor. And then, excuse me for a moment. Our third target is going to end up being the Slaver. And part of what's interesting in this triplet is that they make up kind of this really classic set of like, in my mind, they have this kind of like really classic set of, these are the bad, like they're easy bad guys. Like it's easy to point to, you know, our first target is a war profiteer. Easy bad guy, easy to look at that and say, okay, this is bad, but also easy to look at this and say, okay, this is something that still happens today. This is something that we can see inside of what we, you know, this is common to modern narrative and classical narrative. The Mad Doctor. I mean, like, that's less true, but it does bump up against the ethical concerns of that Abstergo and the biotech stuff they're dealing with is already running up against. And then the slavery is a little bit trickier, but I think it does specifically sort of producing a parallel with the kidnapping narrative and with part of what the Templar narrative is doing. I mean, it's like an inherent evil. It's easy to say, like, the slaver is bad because slavery is bad, but I think it also helps to establish something fundamental about the Templar early on in these first three kills. The Templar the Templar are violent in a way that is opportunistic. They are, you know, it is they're the mad scientist here. The Mad Doctor is engaged in science in a way that is morally questionable and suspect because it.
Myself. Still, you've done right by me. I'll see to it that the favor is returned.
The Mad Doctor is morally questionable and suspect because they are the Mad Doctor is engaging in science in a way that is morally questionable and suspect, because and it's doing that in a way that is sort of establishes a something consistent inside of the Templar, because of the way in which it objectifies its subjects, and that's going to be interesting. And then the slaver is, you know, very much pointing to the ways in which Templar use power and influence to subjugate. And that is like core to their ethos. It's core to how they function in the world. And I think that all of that is really important to setting up the rest of the games. Hold Alrighty.
You've no reason to stand here. Leave.
Altair! He's after me. He saw me. He will kill me, and my wife and children. What a mess. Have you come to end my misery? No. Al-Mualim has more compassion than I thought. Could you help me then? A knight of the Hospitalier is after me. If you could eliminate him, you would do a fellow a real honor. I've been here in Akkar since the Crusaders were laying siege. I can give you important information in return. It is still unsafe for me to walk in the streets of Akka. Come back to me when you have finished.
Okay, now I have to remember how to stealth assassinate.
Who killed this person?
Oh, come on. It's like you've never seen a murder in broad daylight before. Oh, well. Yes, yes, yes. We're all screaming and running and screaming and running.
Altair, he's after me. He saw me.
Let's try this one more time.
And children.
Oh.
What a mess.
Okay.
Have you come to
Things I
end
need to do. Get me more comfortable.
Al-Mualim has more compassion than I thought. Could you help me then? A knight of the Hospitalier is after me.
Why?
If you could eliminate him,
because
you would do a fellow a real honor. I've been here in Akkar since the Crusaders were laying siege.
My butt,
I can give
it
you
hurts just a little bit at the moment. Well, I do appreciate those of you who stuck with us for the first half of the stream, and trying to think about, especially on days like today. I think, you know, it's early days, so this is only round 2. I'm trying to think about like the best way to you know, I like telling stories. I like doing fun. I like telling stories, and especially on days like where there's just lighter, it's where things are just lighter on content. It's okay. How? Oh wait. Okay. Controls. I want to, you know, it's options, controls. I'm still trying to dial in how to, you know, make it fun and engaging, but also keep it on theme. And like, I think part of what I'm learning, part of what I'm thinking is like, there's just a little bit of it that's just, it's just a little bit of not, it's just a little bit of it is just, it's okay to just riff and tell stories, that like, as much as I want the project to be about the things that I want the project to be about, like on days like today when we're really just going to be poking through,
He's dead. Oh, I am extremely grateful. So, here is what I know about Garnier de Naplouse, Grand Master of the Hospitalier. Garnier let his patients roam the halls of his fortress. No one, save scholars, may enter his personal workspace, and the rooftops are guarded by archers. I'm sure this information will help deliver Garnier to the gates of hell.
That especially on days like today, where I have a little bit less to talk about with the folks who we are going after, and a little bit less to talk about in terms of, you know, the ways in which the histories all interact, that it is just about riffing with you guys and telling stories and talking through the play. And that's gonna just keep evolving, because that's, you know, the nature of the thing. You know, because that's, all right. You can't, okay. Because if there's anything I've learned from therapy, it's that everything we do is an evolving process. You're not great at everything all at once. Or at least you're not supposed to be. Unlike everything I ever learned in school, as someone who was on a lot of honors and gifted and talented programs, and had a natural ability to riff his way through things, like exams, and bullshit his way through questions in class. But I don't want to bullshit my way through this. I want to take it all serious. Because I'm doing this for me. Well, I'm doing this for me. I'm glad you guys are here. But, like, frankly, I'd be doing this whether or not you were here. Because honestly, at this point, I'm just basically talking to myself. I don't know if anyone's here. I'm just basically talking to myself and playing this game and jumping off buildings, thinking about horses.
Garnier hears your cries, your complaints. You say he turns away from your suffering, but this is unfair. Untrue.
Found out today that my dog our new puppy is 38 pounds, and she's only like 4.5 months old, so she's going to be like 80 pounds, which is absolutely terrifying. Truly, absolutely, 100% terrifying, because we already have a 60-pound dog. And so, as the person who walks them constantly, I'm really, really looking forward to getting not Altair strong, but, like, you know, properly strong, walking them more. You know, and, you know, it's not like it's the only thing I do, but I'm already walking at this point 100 pounds a dog twice a day, a few miles a day, and so it really does makes a difference, especially because they're both terriers, and so it's squirrel season here in DC, which means that they are desperate every time they see squirrel to go after it. And what's really fun is when they see squirrels in opposite directions, because then the one that's on the hip leash goes one way and the one that I'm leading on a normal leash goes the other, and they just lose their minds and try to tear me in half, which is very fun for everybody. Mostly for them. I mean, like, I have a good time. They're adorable. They're great dogs. I love them very much.
That was unwise. Mercy! Mercy! Don't kill me. I'll do anything you want.
You serve Garnier?
He makes me say these things to keep the people from revolting, to give them hope and make them eager for his touch.
Tell me everything you can about the man.
That's gross.
Yes, of course. I know what happens within. what he really does.
Go on.
Not sick, not wounded when they enter, but once he's got his hands on them, then the pain begins.
He's no healer then. Just a sick, cruel man.
I don't know what it is he does to make them cry so loud, but it must be stopped before more are made to suffer. Will you stop him?
It's why you still live.
He is cautious. You must pick the proper time. Go to him when he attends to the patients. He forgets the world around him, becomes lost in his work. Yes, strike then.
I thank you for the information.
Then you'll let me go?
Would that I could.
I know that Red Dead Redemption kind of has the market cornered on like US based games, Western style US games in the AAA space, but I feel like again I think that an Assassin's Creed game that was based around like the Mexican-American War would be, or the Spanish-American War, excuse me. What am I trying to say? An Assassin's Creed game that would an Assassin's Creed game based in what was then Mexico, during the period as it was transitioning to becoming part of the Americas, would be a very interesting game, especially if it had a really strong horse metric. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I would play that game, especially because I feel like I feel like you could make a big part of that game about literally stealing different types of horses, and like that would be good. I would play that. That would be fun. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Okay. One last pickpocket, and then we're gonna go on to doing our murder. As I check out the memory log, yeah. Right, okay. Great. We're going to go do the last little bit of investigation, and then we'll go do a murder. And then we go... Oh, come on. Come on.
Have I made myself clear?
Your presence
A few
annoys.
coins, all I ask for is but a few coins. I need food, I'm so hungry. Just a little
Don't do that again. Understand?
Well, she's begging me for coins, and I don't have coins. I literally don't... There's literally not money in this game, I don't think. Does she want a flag? I can give her a flag, but I cannot give her coins. I cannot give her coins until I become the banker's son.
That fool must be out of his mind.
Wait, what the fuck? How do I... Okay. Let's see. I must to get into there. Is there a way in? How the fuck do I get into there to pickpocket that man?
is that damn thing?
Heavens, what is he doing?
How the fuck do I get in there? Dude, oh. Huh. How? Hmm.
Coins, all I ask for is a few coins. A few coins, all I ask for is a few coins.
Well, this is fascinating. How do I...
I need money, sir. I'm poor, I'm sick and hungry.
What is it now?
Well...
You need something?
A few coins. I beg of you, sir. I beg of you, sir.
Fine. Yeah, don't do that with an actual sword. It's a bad idea. Okay. Cool. Well, yeah. Like you don't. So here's the thing. You don't.
What you got there?
Want to
Rubbish. The man had no coin to speak of, just some damn tube.
Drive us.
All I found was a bit of paper with these nonsense scratchings.
Them's not nonsense,
the point
but words and letters.
into something that you know is going to be hard.
Waste a tube if you
It'll just
must be important. Give it here.
blunt it or snap it.
Like you helped last time. I ain't letting you steal this.
Well, ain't you clever? Have fun
Bad
with it,
idea. Yoink. Just out here doing it for the Pope. Nobody worry about it. Just here doing it for the... Why? What the fuck, guys? I'm just parkouring. I'm just exercising. Why is everybody being so weird about my exercise? Go for a jog, do a little parkour. All of a sudden, everybody's like, no, we have to fight you with swords. It's like, no, man, I just want... Sorry. This is what happens when they gentrify the Holy Land. I realize that joke means I'm going to hell. I mean, it's not the only reason, but like, that one was bad. But, whew, yeah. Today is the day where the intrusive thoughts are 100% just coming out.
You dare steal in my presence. Double cost you a life.
But yeah, Altair was just out here trying to jog and parkour. And the Crusader cops were just like, I don't know, man. I'm not here for that. Oh, absolutely. Fuck. Definitely need all Crusaders are bastards t-shirts.
Still, you've done right by me. I'll see to it that the favor is returned.
Adding it to the merch pile. Actually, I love that. All Crusaders are bastards. Oh, that's very good. Okay. No. Do the buttons. Go into the thing. Okay, let's listen to this man talk.
How fares your search for Garnier?
I know when and how to strike.
Share your knowledge with me, then.
He lives and works within the Order's hospital, northwest of here. Rumors speak of atrocities committed within its walls. It seems the good doctor enjoys experimenting on innocent citizens. Most of them kidnapped and brought here from Jerusalem.
Clever. By stealing his subjects from another city, he avoids arousing too much suspicion here. But back to the matter at hand. What is your plan?
Gagne keeps mainly to his quarters inside the hospital, though he leaves occasionally to inspect his patients. It's when he makes his rounds that I will strike.
It's clear you've given this some thought. I give you leave to go. Remove this stain from Akka, Altair. Perhaps it will help cleanse your own. Rest here until you're ready to begin your mission.
Excuse me.
Fast forwarding memory to a more recent one.
Pop of the jaw. Okay. Now we get to go do another fun one. This is actually, so this is one of, this is the Assassin's Creed memory. Yeah, this is the Assassin's Creed memory that I think I remember the most. Like, this is this mission stands out to me, I think, as like the first one that really like that really landed as this game is doing something different. This game is doing something interesting. There's something about the historical commentary that is meant to be like, you're meant to be paying attention to you're meant to be paying more attention to the game than you're meant to be paying attention to the game more than just, you know, oh, I'm here to, you know, kill some dudes. And a part of that is also in the ways in which it's problematic. Like, I'm in this space where literally there's someone who's meant to be seen as a madman, as insane, who's like going to push me and potentially knock me into a guard that's going to start combat in a place that's going to complicate this mission. And I think that, like, that is, you know, I think that is, if nothing else, it's supposed to make you think about like the space, and it's a part of like the setup for the Hospitaliers, the Mad Doctor, and what this mission is. But then as we get into it, I also think like the layout of the hospital is also kind of, well, we'll see when we get inside, because I think it's I'm trying to remember how to get in. Yep, because there's another one. Right, there it is. So I want to get in through that window, and I get into that window through the roof, and I get onto the roof via this cross. Let's see. But it, let's see if I can make that jump. No. Okay. There we go. No. Oh. Trying to remember how to do this. Okay.
And when he dies, I will help.
Let's see. Yeah, right. Okay, yes, the burnout building across the way. Okay, so, going up through this burnt out building, and then we're gonna go across here. And
Leave, peasant, before I make you.
over here. Oh, come on. Are you? Come on. Wait, seriously? Can I not go through that window? Could have sworn I could go through that window. Can I not go through that window? Maybe not. Okay. Thought I could go through that window. Now I'm clipping through that. Now I'm standing on it. I'll tell you, you're doing such a good job. And by extension, I'm doing such a good job. Okay. Let's try here. All right. Okay, good. There we go. Okay.
You've no reason to be here. Leave.
Shh. Okay, cool. So, here we go.
This is where you die.
Come on. I mean, look, sometimes you really just hate the guy you're on shift with. I also really dislike that you can't, like, crouch in this game, but I can just do this, which is fun. Wow, I'm doing an incredibly awful job at this, but that's okay. Okie dokie. Cool. Oh, okay. Okay, so here we are. We're over here. There's a guy who's gonna go see those corpses, but okay, so here we are. We are... All right, so we're back. So we're in...
No, help! Help me! Help me! Please! You must help me!
Enough, my child. I asked you to retrieve the patient, not to kill him. There. Everything will be all right.
No!
Give me your hand.
Don't touch me! Not again!
Cast out this fear, else I cannot help you.
Help me? Like you helped the others? You took their souls! I saw! But not mine. No! You'll not have mine! Ah!
Take hold of yourself. Do you think this gives me pleasure? Do you think I want to hurt you? But you leave me no choice.
Every kind word matched by the back of his hand. All lies and deception. He won't be content until all bow before him.
You should not have done that. Return him to his quarters. I'll be along once I've tended to the
You
other.
can't keep me here. I'll escape again.
No, you won't. Break his legs, both of them. I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Have you people nothing better to do?
I mean, A, obviously not. They're imprisoned in your asylum, and so what else are they going to do? But B, I do really appreciate that. There's this strong parallel between, like, the Doctor and Varric, for me anyway.
It's you! And how does it feel to be whole again?
I don't know how you did it.
It wasn't easy, I assure you. You fought hard at first. Most do. But now it's done. The hard part's past.
I owe you my life. I'm yours to command. Thank you. Thank you for freeing me.
Thank you for letting me.
And then we have these nice bits of conversation that are him talking to people, and some of that is positive. Some of that is him being supported, but we're also still wandering around this madhouse where we have folks who are in obvious distress, behaving in a way that I think is like difficult, for me at times, difficult to see portrayed on screen.
Child, the very fact that we're having this conversation shows that we've made progress. Or do you forget the way you once were?
Can't remember before all of blood.
It'll come back in time. Then you'll see.
How did you do it?
I have my ways. The worst is over then. Tired, then rest, my child.
I have a feeling I'm going to die. But let's see. Yeah.
Climb tall structures to
So very, very frustrating. But here we are. Anyway.
Move. They say you can walk now. Impressive.
Been so long. Almost forgot how.
Wonderful.
I don't understand. Why did you help me?
Because no one else would.
The sound effects of the various, like, people in distress is rough. Okay. Nope. No. Okay, where'd he go? Where did he go, George?
What have you done to me? Yes, pain. It hurts at first, I won't lie.
Okay.
It tries to repay. In time, you'll agree.
You are a monster.
I've been called worse.
Come on. Just a little bit closer. Come on. Get it. Yes. Thank you. Pray the Slayaway is very good.
I'll rest now, yes. The endless dream calls to me.
Okay.
But
We did
before
it.
I close my eyes, I must know what will become of my children.
You mean the people made to suffer your cruel experiments? They'll be free now to return to their homes.
Homes? What homes? The sewers? The brothels? The prisons that we dragged them from?
You took these people against their will.
Yes. What little will there was for them to have. Are you really so naive? Do you appease a crying child simply because he wails? I want to play with fire, Father. What would you say? As you wish. But then you'd answer for his burns.
These are not children, but men and women full grown.
In body, perhaps, but not in mind. Which is the very damage I sought to repair. I admit, without the piece of Eden, which you stole from us, my progress was slowed. But there are herbs, mixtures, and extracts. My guards are proof of this. They were madmen before I found and freed them from the prisons of their own minds. And with my death, madmen they will be again.
You truly believe you were helping them?
It's not what I believe. It's what I know.
So, again, we're seeing the same sort of like madmen and children description, which is the same sort of children infantilization description that you're getting this time in like the mentally infirm space. But I think this is also something that was really common. This is something that's really common culturally. You know, it was a justification that was used during the Crusades. It's something that I think is really commonly used to justify the sorts of things that we see in a lot of contemporary colonization. But I think it's also, and you know, it's a parallel that I think we see throughout a lot of. Like, it's something that we're going to see paralleled in the three timelines pretty consistently. Like, in particular, we see it in the Crusades, this idea of, you know, saving the peoples of the Holy Land from themselves, in saving, you know, saving the people of modernity from themselves, in sort of Desmond's near future space, and then in the pre-Obama, post-Bush era, saving, you know, we're at the end of the drug war. We're in like the No Child Left Behind era. There is sort of this narrative of saving the populace from a lot of its own choices, a lot of its own decisions on both sides, you know, whatever end of the political spectrum we're discussing, you know, because I think this is what produces the Tea Party movement. It's a lot of what produces a lot of leftist movements in their contemporary forms. And you know, I think that part of what's interesting is that we're seeing that direct parallel here between Varric and the Doctor in this space. And we'll see a lot more of that throughout how the Templars show up across the games. Also, there's a Malort and Savior shirts. I love that wordplay. I need one of those immediately. Are you kidding? That sounds absolutely phenomenal. I also, so because Jepson's is here's the thing. I will 100%. Look, I'm gonna be choosy about sponsors because we have morals here at Falcon Fictive. But Jepson's Malort, we will accept as a sponsor for sure. And I know that the good people at Jepson's Malort would very, very, very much be open to my idea, which is to start producing Malort with holy water. Because I think that like if there's anything that this I think that if there's anything that this opens up, it's that I think Malort could be the new spirit of Rome. The new spirit of the spirit of Rome.
What news, Altair?
Yeah.
Garnier is dead.
Then you should return to Masyaf with news of your victory.
There is something else.
Speak it then, or would you have me read your mind?
What do you think he wanted from these people? That he would keep them and experiment on them as he did?
Yours is not to ask, but act, Altair. It doesn't matter what he did or why. Only that he's dead.
But Garnier seemed to believe he was helping these people.
Is that what you saw?
No. What I saw was not a place of healing, but of pain.
Then why are we having this conversation?
I don't know. Forget I spoke of it.
I already have.
Fast-forwarding memory to a more recent one.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with no, because I think we're gonna go ahead and go straight on to Jerusalem. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, of course I wanted. That was a foolish thing. Yeah, the secret of the assassins is mostly that you can't you can't get there unless you can climb a roof. And it turns out most people didn't understand what climbing was pre-ladder until no, I got nothing. Like it's not a good hideout system. It's just not a good hideout system. In the same way that like my current traversal of the space is not a good movement system because it involves a lot of running into things and being stabbed. So, you know, it's it makes a certain kind of sense in the same way that, like, you know, you hiding in plain sight kind of makes sense. You know, kind of like when my dog doesn't want me to take something away from him, he will like lower his shoulders and immediately look at me as if he for sure has something that I should take away from him, rather than like anything else, where he could very easily just be like, oh yeah, I could very easily just like nonchalantly stroll away, and if you weren't really paying attention, maybe you wouldn't notice. I lost the thread there. Yeah, it's just they just put it on the roof. Kind of like what I'm going for now. Can I climb this wall? No, I can't climb this wall. Also, is there fast travel in this game? I bet there isn't, and I really should have said that I would. I really should have taken the hint and taken the return to myself. Alrighty. But well. And now I've died. Okay, so here we are.
Selecting the hidden blade journey will allow you to quickly dispatch an enemy.
You dare steal in my presence. That will cost you your life.
Let's see. Is there a way, having made that choice? See what happens if I exit the Animus. I'm gonna exit the Animus. And then if I come back in, will it just drop me in my staff? I know that friction used to be a little bit the point, but
Countering a strong attack will leave your enemy vulnerable. Finish him by breaking his legs, or by throwing him to the ground.
damn. The AI goes hard. Good God. Okay. Let's see what happens if I yeah, no, I guess I gotta just go there. Good God. Sorry, guys. Well, I guess I'm taking the long way. On foot. Should have... Lesson learned. Next time, just when it says, do you want to fast travel to Musaf to talk to Al, then you do it. You just do it. Yeah. Because in the same way that there are no subtitles in this game, there's no fast travel in this game. Oh, and this stream is being glitchy again. My apologies.
Remain double cost in your beliefs, though the road is long and your trials many. Know the Lord watches over.
Okay. Nope, that's a dead end. Why did they put that there? Who the hell knows? Okay. Nope, and we're okay. This again, dude. Really? Come on, man. We don't have to do this. I guess we do have to do this. All right. Could have been worse. Okay. Well, lessons learned today. Second kill in a single night might have been overly ambitious, but it's only 9:30. I can probably get a second one in, assuming I can get back to Massaf in time, or if nothing else, I can get us at least most of the way on the way. And let's see if I can get the fuck out of here. God. Okie dokie. Going. Yeah. I hear you. Well, let's keep on trucking. Run. Okay. And we're off. Soundboard required. What I need is a soundboard that has foot pedals so that I can make sure to hit the Roland Zahay as I land in Zahay. Already. And we're off. Yep, okay, and we're galloping, and we're in combat. That's okay, though. God.
When you are exposed, throwing soldiers from rooftops and into structures is a useful way to create an escape.
I wonder if part of the reason they set it up so that Altair was an asshole is because they realized that part of the mechanics of traversing this world meant that you just were going to run into people. Like, that was just part of how the world was built. You just like that was just part of the friction of the world that they had built. And so, yeah, okay. So they just had to make it so that you were playing someone who was kind of a dick, because it was inevitable that inside of the like just the mechanics of moving at speed through this world, that you just were going to, it was just going to happen. Like, there was just no avoiding that he was just going to show up as a dick. I don't know, maybe not. Nope. Okay. Okay. Nope. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're going. Keep on riding the horse. Do the horse thing. Horse is good. Ride is good. Fast. Away. Yeah, through the guy. That's fine. He probably sucked. Wait, which, oh, come on. You can't tell that because... Oh, but where's the road? There it is. Sorry. Oops. That sound definitely doesn't get annoying at all after so much time. Oh man, it does. You know, a game that I keep meaning to go back to that this is reminding me of is Shadows of the Colossus. I have not played that game in forever, but for some reason this particular horse mechanic is making me think of that. It was a good one. It was a good one. I haven't played it since it came out. So it's been forever and ever. It's a good one. Definitely worth going back to. Definitely worth going back to. I jump over the log. It is kind of frustrating that I have to go back and check in with my murder daddy after every murder. Like, you gave me two murders to do. Why won't you let me do both murders before I come check in? That feels like, you know, I would have hoped that my murder daddy would trust me at least enough to do that. But, I mean, I get why, because I've besmirched the order and I keep running into people, and, you know, God. Also, I know it makes me the asshole, like, in the am I the asshole, I am the asshole, but, like, obviously, I shouldn't run into people, but maybe they should get the fuck out of my way a little bit. Like, not all the time. Like, not all the time. I get it. I do. But, you know, it's not just everyone has agency here. You could like a little bit move, just like a little bit, right? You kind of have to know where you are. Maybe everybody wouldn't keep getting assassinated if they had a little bit more situational awareness.
Where is he going?
Is all I'm saying. Not to blame the victim or anything.
Have you news for me, Altair?
Garnier de Naplouse is dead.
Excellent. We could not have hoped for a more agreeable outcome.
And yet...
What is it?
The doctor insisted his work was noble. And looking back, those who were supposedly his captives seemed grateful to the man. Not all of them, but enough to make me wonder. How did he manage to turn enemy into friend?
Leaders will always find ways to make others obey them. And that is what makes them leaders. When words fail, they turn to coin. When that won't do, they resort to baser things. Bribes, threats, and other types of trickery. There are plans, Altair.
Are we the baddies, Murder Daddy? Is very good.
So great are the pleasures it brings, men may even become enslaved by it.
You think these men were drugged then? Poisoned?
Yes, if it truly was as you described it.
Herbs. This seems a strange method of control.
Our enemies have accused me of the same.
The promise of paradise.
They think it is a garden, overflowing with women and pleasure. But I drug you as Garnier did his men, and tempt you with its rewards.
They do not know the truth of it.
Which is how it must be.
But if they knew the truth of it, that all we seek is peace,
then they would not fear us, and we would have no hold over them. Go. It is time you continued with your work. Another rank is restored to you, as is a piece of your equipment. We'll speak again when the next has fallen.
Herbs. Although I haven't spoken out of this thing in ages. Ugh. Yeah, herbs got nothing on a magic apple. Nada. Alright, let's go get the obviously most evil of our first three targets. The one who is the explicit slaver. Love that they tossed that one in. Just up front. Also interesting that it's love that it's the only even semi nonfiction character was the doctor, and that the other two targets early on are, oh my god, excuse me, are whole cloth fiction. And I think, I mean, a part of that is just because, you know, at the time, slavery and, you know, the sale of weapons wouldn't necessarily be noteworthy enough for them to ID anyone in particular. There are all sorts of reasons why you would do that inside of a narrative, but it is just interesting to me that for those two particular folks, they just went with, we're gonna make people up. But now I get to go murder one. Murder another one. Doobie-doobie-doo. As I ride this horse and don't hit anyone. It is also fascinating from like a game design perspective that this was in that time where it's like we are intentionally going to make sure that there's a place that you have to jump over with a horse at the entry and exit of this space. For some reason, I think a part of it for this especially was that you have these like wandering
Use sharp turns or climb over buildings to break your pursuer's line of sight.
part of the mechanic is that you have characters wandering around, but at the same time, it was just sort of like became this frustrating thing of like, why do I have to jump over this with the horse every single time that I want to leave the place? I could have just, walked or fast traveled. I'm very excited. Like the fact that fast travel becomes available to us in future games is a thing that really, really changes the stakes in a meaningful way. It makes the game much more playable. And I get there's a value to the friction of having to move around the world. I think that it does convey the scale of the space. It makes so much of it feel I think I talked about it last time. The map, compared to modern maps, the map is not huge, but it's not. The map is not huge, but because you have to move around it all the time, because you have to walk it, you have to ride your horse to get from A to B. I swear to God, I keep yawning, and I will stop eventually. Because you have to ride your horse to get from A to B. It conveys the sense of space in a way that I think is really compelling. It's our favorite beep 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 noise. And going back to the N64 question, I really, it would be useful to have a third hand while streaming so that I could adjust the microphone while still holding all of the various buttons down while riding the horse. That would be great. What else would you use a third hand for? I don't understand. What else could you possibly use a third hand for? I'm just an innocent boy. I'm just an innocent boy child. No, okay, that's. Oh. I mean, that's true, but that's just because I have a tendency to curse like a sailor. And occasionally to totally lose my train of thought and all of a sudden start singing random bars from, I don't know, music that has been dated for a while. I was, again, teaching a class the other day, and I brought up David Attenborough, and everyone looked at me like I was a crazy person. And that's fair, because I figured, okay, cool. Not everybody knows who David Attenborough is, and that's fine. And, I feel old, but that's normal. And then I was like, okay, cool. But you know how he's kind of like, when Snoop does the narration on nature videos, he's kind of spoofing David Attenborough, and then the students looked at me like I was a crazy person, and that's when I was like, okay, cool, now I'm definitely old, because I thought that was still a pertinent reference, and when that didn't land, that really made me feel ancient. I truly made me feel like I was turning to dust. In the okay, cool, yeah, I'm just an old man. And then I also, because I was teaching a class on voiceover and narration and voice acting, and just sort of it was an intensive. It's in this video production course that I was stepping in on for an instructor that was out, and you know, one of the other things I was referencing was like SpongeBob, and I was referencing things, and I was realizing that SpongeBob has been on the air long enough that I was talking about SpongeBob stuff, and I was like, you know, all of this might just be dated. Like, this might be ancient SpongeBob references. You might have none of this might be current to the SpongeBob meta anymore, and so that you know, just truly. I simply don't understand. I know not what the children do, which is why I'm playing an Assassin's Creed game that's almost 20 years old and talking about historiography on stream. Yo, they nerfed Gary? Can he not, like, because he used to be... I mean, see, here's the thing. You joke, but like then they drop the SpongeBob Magic the Gathering set, and like these are serious conversations that people are having. And it's fucking wild. Like they're 100% power scaling SpongeBob. I feel like if I really wanted to be speaking to the contemporary kids meta, I would have talked about some Bluey, because Bluey is apparently like still a thing. Are Pokemon cards back? Like, I thought Pokemon cards are... So Pokemon is back in a way that like the trading card game and like the games are big in, but I thought the cards were back more in like a collector's item, kind of like people collect Pokemon cards in the way they collect and trade art objects. And like it's not like people aren't... No one is battling Pokemon cards. Well, I'm very dead now. Like no one's battling Pokemon cards the way like I'm gonna break out a commander deck with some friends. That's so bizarre to me. It's so bizarre. I mean, it's great. Like everyone should do what they want. I mean, it was true, but also like I would like it was very sick to have. Yeah. It made less sense than a lot of other things. Also, let's see, what time is it? Okay, it's 10. I'm gonna focus on. We're gonna focus the rest of we're gonna focus the next half hour on getting these viewpoints in. We're gonna get into Jerusalem and get some viewpoints and some early investigation done, and running some people over with a horse. I'm on a horse. That's, you know what, I think I'm still, Magic the Gathering has definitely jumped a shark, until they have a card called Jump the Shark, that's like a Fonzie, universe, Worlds Beyond. I think we're still kind of there. Once they start doing stuff like Old Spice and Monster and like until they start doing branded content that's literally just brands, I think we're okay, right? I think we're okay. Like Marvel's bad. No, I like a jumping. No, it's a jumping shark. That sounds right. That sounds like that sounds about right.
I'll hunt you down!
They did a South Park set? I mean, yeah, but not gonna lie, Mr. Hanky would be a hilarious card to play. Blue, white, black. What would Mr. Hanky do? Sorry, now I'm just This is terrible, terrible stream content. I'm talking about Mr. Hanky as I get absolutely desynced. Nobody wants to hear me talk about Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. Good God. Man. I feel like the I feel like the way to do it is you don't do a South Park set, you do a Trey Parker Matt Stone set. So it's not South Park. It's not just South Park. It's South Park. It's Basketballs. It's Team America. It's, you know, it's just the whole dang thing. Okay, climb, you idiot, climb. Okay, and okay, you can look. I've seen you do impressive things, Altair. You can handle getting hit by a couple rocks. Like, I respect you too much. You must do better. No, keep going. Yep, up. Yep, there we go. Up. There we go. Up again. Up again. More. High. Yes, there we go. Okay. Alrighty. So close. There we are. They should have made the Assassin's Creed movie a Muppet movie where Fassbender was the only human. Would have saved it. I actually have no idea. I haven't watched the... I guess you know what? I'll call it a film. Why would you do that to the horse? You bastards. Run, horse, run. I love... I will never not hit the chase cam. Seriously, we definitely need more like single person Muppet movies. Wait, shit. Going the wrong way. There we go. Go. Go, horsey, go. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of all of the religious film that is being produced lately, but I feel like to that end, we're in a period of time where there's a lot of money there. You could definitely do a Ten Commandments movie where Moses is the only human, which would be really good. Or if you want to go harder, a Ten Commandments movie where Pharaoh is the only human. That could also be very good.
Ladders are a socially acceptable way to reach a rooftop. Climbing on buildings, however, is not.
Okay. Oh, I dig that.
Was that absolutely necessary?
Having made it to Jerusalem, I'm sitting here yawning, and I'm gonna say that I think it's best for me to call it, because otherwise I think I'm gonna start trying to climb viewpoints in Jerusalem, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna start falling off, and it's gonna be really funny and tragic for like a couple of minutes, and then it's gonna be sad. So what I am gonna say is thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging with for the way more technically successful but still we're getting it hammered out stream. And I promise for next week to make sure to have a little bump of coffee and be a little bit more up so that I can get through the full 3 to make it to the 10:30 mark. But yeah, we're getting into it. We're making progress. Headway is being made. Altair is making progress, and I take prescription. The problem is for me with the ADHD, cocaine would just I mean, it'd probably help, but we'll see. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to the follow us on the channel. We're on Instagram at Falcon Fictive, TikTok, like and subscribe, Falcon Fictive, Instagram, TikTok. We're on Patreon. We haven't started doing bonus content yet, but we will. Applying to Everything as a podcast that we produce that is gonna start coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. We have some fun actual play stuff. We have an actual play podcast that we're starting to spin up producing, so keep an ear out for that coming up in a few months. And yeah, it was awesome as always. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.